What's going on, guys? MTG Game State. We're getting ever so close to the first Pro Tour of the series this year, and MTG. I want to say the Magic Pro Tour Chicago 2025 is going to be kicking off soon next month in February. We're coming up towards the last 2 weeks of January here on MTG Game State. So we're going to get into the news for 2025 and make a little PSA about Google and the AI regarding looking up Magic rulings, among other things for card finance. Let's check it out. Boom. All right, so I wanted to talk about, in our last episode, we were just talking about how you make your way up to the Pro Tour. It starts by starting at competing in regional championship qualifiers at your local game store. Unless you choose to do Magic Arena or Magic Online events to circumvent this triangle to get to here. There's other ways you can do it, but if you want to go the paper route, there's the regional championship qualifiers, prove your skill at the local scene. Then you can go to the regional championships after you qualify. And then you can go to the Pro Tour from there. The Pro Tour, the people we see on camera are just the best of the best. But there's like 500 other people at the Pro Tour playing and competing at any given time. So if you've seen me cover and co-stream the last Magic Pro Tour, even the people we saw on camera, out of their like 12 or 15 there was there, behind them competing in the Pro Tour would be like us, the common people, unless we're cool like me, we'd be on camera. And then you can eventually, if whoever wins Pro Tour, they get to, even I don't even think it's necessarily the winner of Pro Tour, but you can you rank up a certain amount of points to get to World Championship. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about though was there's regional championship updates for the 2025-2026 season. So it's a new year full of events and qualification opportunities for Pro Tour and World Championship. Regional championships and their qualifier events at local game stores continue across 2025 and into 2026, and it's nearly time for the first Pro Tour of the year, Pro Tour Aether Drift, which will take place at MagicCon Chicago, February 21st through 23rd. I will be at MagicCon Chicago since it is my home city. I gotta be there, I gotta represent. But also for the February 21st through 23rd weekend, I will be co-streaming the Pro Tour event besides when I'm at MagicCon. We'll come back on streaming, okay? So this is the schedule for 2025 Pro Tours at each MagicCon event. We covered this briefly last, kind of maybe at length in the last episode, but just a real quick one over. February 21st through 23rd will be of this year MagicCon Aether Drift Pro Tour. Then in the summer at MagicCon Las Vegas, we'll have the Final Fantasy set drop, and that will be the Pro Tour for Final Fantasy, a Universes Beyond set in 60-card formats yet again. Here we go. And then September 26th through 28th, 2025, Pro Tour Edge of Eternities, our first full in-space Magic themed set. The Pro Tour for that will be at Atlanta MagicCon. Another MagicCon I am trying to get to as well. I'm trying to get to at least 2 this year, hopefully trying to make it to Atlanta. So there's that. So regional championships for Pro Tour Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy take place over the next several weeks, and regional championship qualifiers at your local game store for Pro Tour Edge of Eternities are underway now and will continue through March 22nd. For Pro Tours taking place in the 26th season, the first qualifying season will begin later this year with many of the same regional organizers. Two regions will move to new organizers. So you guys don't really know, for anyone who's not at home and isn't like familiar with like the professional Magic the Gathering scene, there's global, outside of playing in America at your local game store, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Brazil, they all have their own locations and events and dates. So if you wanted to compete to get into a tournament for Australia or New Zealand, Let's Play Games will assume the regional championship partnership from Good Games, beginning with the final regional championship of 2025. March 7th through 9th, regional championship at Sydney, Super Series finals. Okay, so it just looks like there's just tons of events. Kind of just first time delving into this article. Just wanted to just spitball it at you. Of course, the link will be in the description if you really want to read it and be like, what the fuck were you saying, bro? But anyways, my whole point is they restructured a bit the championship season, just updating us what we're going to be getting into. And I just want to touch back base, at least for our first article of the night, to last episode with that, okay? Now moving on. So, full schedule of MTG Aether Drift previews revealed. I know we are in currently the weekend events for Innistrad Remastered, which is happening right now. See right there. But pretty much next month we'll be into Aether Drift sooner than you think. It's right in your face. This is the racing Magic card racing set, the Mad Max Race Across the Universe set. Wacky races if you're a Cartoon Network fan. So, I just wanted to highlight that the main set schedule January 21st. We'll have the Aether Drift debut. This is going to be on stream for Magic the Gathering's weekly Magic show, which we will be co-streaming. They're usually on Tuesdays. So January 21st, we're going to get a debut of the main set of Aether Drift. We'll get a breakdown of the mechanics, see some of the making of the story through the Making Magic. We'll get through the secret layer for the year, and then the MTG after show, which is usually cool. It's like Gavin Verhey and a couple other hosts just talking about stuff and just yapping. It's just nice to get into the heads of the people and the faces of Magic that are on camera, but also work on the show or work on the game itself and get into their heads. And then all of January, this is just going to be like tournament events through like websites and stuff. So nothing too crazy. Or actually, I think this is going to be articles being dropped. So January 22nd, I believe these news sources will be dropping articles on the set, it seems. I tried to read I read this article earlier off camera, and it just didn't really make any sense with what they're saying for this. It just says there's events going on. But I just really wanted to highlight January 21st, we're going to co-stream again. Along with the Pro Tour in February, we're going to try to hit these Magic events and co-stream. Okay. And finally, for our news, a little gabbing, a little yapping. I don't really like to go to Reddit for news and information, but this was a very interesting one when I was just searching Magic news. Quick little drama. PSA, Google AI sucks at Magic rulings. Always look past the first result when doing rules checks. And I think that's fair. That makes sense. Usually now when you Google stuff, if that's your search engine of choice, maybe it's just true across other search engines, but on Google, it gives you a little quick summary of searches, like conglomerates all the searches together into like a quick sentence, and you could read it because that's all AI does. It just summarizes stuff back to us at this point. It's a mimic. But people are noticing that it's the way it's like conglomerate, the way it's gathering information for Magic the Gathering cards, it's obviously incorrect. And I've noticed that before when I've had ChatGPT try to build decks for me. You kind of got it does like 75% of the work. You got to do like the rest to kind of get it to where you want for fine tuning. Maybe that's just where we are with the technology, but I just wanted a quick, I'm not even going to go over the comments, who cares? I just want a quick PSA. If you're going to be Googling stuff for how does this work, double check, read past the first page. They kind of taught you that in school already. If you didn't learn that and you're kind of new to this world, well, that's a Smoke Packs fact I'm teaching you. All right, finally, my favorite part of this show, my favorite part of this segment, the one that kicked it all off originally, the finance segment. Let's do it to it. Card number one. Interesting in my market research. Card I don't know, it was just more so off the ability, pest control than anything else. Guess I'm just going to sound the alarm off this because it is a big scorecard. It's a 2-drop white-black, so it's kind of funky colors. But this would be good for Mardu for defenses against tokens. Destroy all non-land permanents with mana value 1 or less. Cycling 2. It's worst that you can get. I think it's okay. Currently used in some standard decks, so it is seeing use in Modern, Legacy, and Standard. Of course, the Dimir. It's got some. Okay, guess it is Dimir. But what's in this list? Okay, that's just really interesting. So we are seeing it being used in the 60-card formats, actually, which is really nice. I like when a card is relevant. And the big score does have alt prints. So if it's being used, these alt prints will get hit first, and that's going to tie the rest of the other cards to tie into their price together. 2-drop artifact, we already went over it. The finance on this card is average listing I have is $4.65. Market's buying it close to almost $5. We could round this up to a $5 card easily. Since it is being used in 60-card format, it's a mythic, it's not bulk. And I thought even for Commander, why not give it a shot? So sounding an alarm on pest control, get it now. We're seeing it in all the hardest color. Gruul Adventures is crazy. Oculus, of course, all the hardest builds in the 60 card format at this time. All right, card number 2. I wanted to highlight, we don't usually always go over, just because it's kind of resting, it's kind of sleeping. But we don't always go over reserve list cards, but I wanted to go over a reserve list card. And it's using the TCG player information off reserve list cards is a little weird. You kind of got to conglomerate it from like eBay listings to just local game store listings and buy list prices and all that. That's different than other Magic cards, whatever. I'm talking primary real estate of Magic cards, the reserve list. Do your own research if you don't know what the reserve list is. Okay, you gotta know what the market research is looking like. But per TCG player information, what we got we will refer to for that for now. So we got Cabal Ghoul, 3-drop zombie, 2 and a black. At the beginning of each end step, put a +1 counter on Cabal Ghoul for each creature that died this turn. This is a good card already out the bat. Our finance average listing $145 on TCG player. Market's buying at 114. Be careful buying reserve list cards off a TCG player, especially for that much. If we click here, let's see if we can get into it. See real quick what the true pricing is. Maybe we can get a $100 card under 100. Maybe $90 it looks like. We can get $40, $50 on damaged. Again, still be careful trying to get these cards. Don't ever believe the hype. $145 is probably for a super near crispy mint card, and even then. I just want to say, on any reserve list card, if you're seeing it listed on TCG Player, be careful on where the price, and always check TCG Player what the real listings are. And again, if you're gonna buy reserve list, buy collections or buy in person from your store, somewhere more trusted than through the seller websites itself. Or if you're gonna do it through a trusted seller. So that's just my whole thing. And it does have a relevant ability regarding like sack fodder and stuff. It's just gonna get big. It gives it +1 counters, which is cool. So it's kind of relevant, and we could see use in EDH. So just want to sound an alarm on that. Card number 3. I believe we've covered this before on this channel, but I wanted to go over a specific one. The Legends print of Land Tax. Land Tax is a 1-drop enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your library for up to 3 basic land cards. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. I was going to say shuff. Shuff is short for shuffling. We say that when we play cards, but I wanted to be a bit more formal on the video. Why realistically I wanted to highlight this card. Average listing we're seeing as of Monday, January 13th on TCG Player. We're seeing average listing for $49.84, close to $50. Market's buying at $47, trying to get it cheap. It's printed across everywhere, so it should be realistically a $20 card. But these older prints in Magic card are a bit more historic. They're going to command high prices. It doesn't matter. World Championships, who cares if they're banned? They're still cool. Why I care about this card, why I wanted to bring it up, I guess another sound the alarm type deal, is the art is kind of funky from Magic back then. Really old school. Kind of has a realistic person view too. Like the clothes he's wearing isn't necessarily fantasy. This person looks kind of modernish, but not really, especially for that 90s vibe. I know nowadays we kind of have more of the steampunk vibe kind of fleshed out. I don't know, I just thought this was kind of cool, this art, and I think this printing is just going to... The Legends printing is always going to be premium. This could easily be a $50 card, okay? Now, on TCG Player, we could probably get it for $40, let's be real. $200 for a near mint. That would be sick if you can. But again, be careful trying to buy old cards like that off TCG Player. Buy off trusted sellers and stuff. If you're going to use the filters... Use the filters on TCG that are going to be from like stores and stuff. But always support your local game store first. They have the cards there too. Other than that, there's probably like Facebook Marketplace is your next best bet. But again, those are shady. Be safe. Your local collectors or like listings online. Again, be safe how you do that and what you do. So I just want to talk about that. I guess we're kind of getting into some premium advice, premium cards. And then 4th honorable mention. Kind of jumping back into the standard format, into why we're pulling Duskborn packs on this channel. Not the Japanese Showcase Fracture Foil, but I do love that. Overlord of the Balemark. Just base printing, please. Just base printing. Why do I care about the base printing? Because if the base printing gets a lot of price, then all the other cards will have to tie in, vice versa, okay? Now, Duskmourn House of Horror already has 2 cards that are like worth like $40 to $30 to 25 bucks. And we're already seeing Overlord of the Balemark. It's a 5-drop enchantment creature, Avatar Horror, with Impending 5, which is pay 2, 1 and a black. Cast a spell for its impending cost. It enters with 5 time counters on it and isn't a creature until the last is removed. Beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. When Overlord of the Balemark enters or attacks, mill 4 cards. Then you may return a non-avatar creature card or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. We're seeing it in all the modern decks. We're seeing it pop off in all of the 60-card format decks, even Legacy, which is crazy. It's got a pretty nasty ability, and what does pop on the field is kind of annoying to get rid of. So, cast for its impending cost, enters with 5 time counters. Kind of doesn't do anything until that 5th time counter gets removed, and when you do, you get it for cheap. It's only an impending doom until then. And that attack trigger is pretty nasty. I could easily put this in any commander deck that cares about graveyard matters play stuff. So, market list, I want to get right there on the dot. Market listing January 17th, Friday. We're seeing average listing $30, 32 bucks. Market's buying at 20 bucks. So this isn't going to be a bulk mythic for a while. It's still going to be in the standard rotation. And we're seeing, if it's used in modern, it's always going to command a high price. Off TCG player, let's just double check. We're getting in the true pricing. 30 bucks? Okay, about like $21. It's my honorable mention. I just want to see in decks how many pieces of it is being used. There's a 4 of it, there's a full play set. Looks like people are putting a full play set in for death taxes. Okay, looks like play set's a 3, depending on the deck and the style. So that's really interesting because, again, if it's going to get close to 30 bucks that you could buy it for, that's $90 you're paying for 3 cards at just base chill form. So that's all I got for you on the Market Watch. I felt like we kind of got a little bit in depth on like kind of talking about premium stuff, or just getting into knowing where to buy or what to do, or at least my insight a bit. If you want more about that kind of knowledge, talk about it in the comments. Let me know. All the articles, links will be in the description and all that good stuff. So it's me signing off.